Hi there, my name is Ash and I like to draw, but do you know what else I like? Seeing other people draw my characters! If you watched my last video, then you know that this year I participated in the online game ArtFight, where artists from all over the internet upload their own characters, split into teams and attack each other by, well, drawing each other's characters. So naturally I uploaded almost every character I've created on this channel and got to work drawing everyone else's amazing creations. All of which you can see by clicking the card in the corner of this video or checking for a link in the description, by the way. Now this isn't actually my first art fight. I participated for the first time last year where I made 6 attacks and got 3 in return, all of which I'm very thankful for and all of which were great. So I just want to thank those guys real quick. But this year, much to my own surprise, I got 15. Yeah, that's right, 5 times as many as last year. And I think all of them deserve a bit of recognition. So that's what we're doing today. Instead of watching me draw, we're going to be looking at and appreciating all the wonderful people who took a look at my weird little creations and thought they were cool enough to draw, whether spontaneously or as a revenge for me drawing their character first. Okay, fine, maybe I drew a revenge or two myself and maybe they'll pop up in this video. Maybe. Oh, and trust me when I say this, you're gonna want to stick around for the last attack in this video because man, it is wild. Now, I do have one little confession to make. There's a character on my ArtFight profile that I didn't create on this channel. A while ago I had a video idea where I would create characters based on the card game Smash Up. A game where you put together 2 random fractions of units like say zombies and unicorns and fight the opponent with your weird mixed up armies. I never got around to making a full video based on this, but when I was playing around with the idea and randomly rolled sharks and super spies, I did end up doodling a character I really liked. Namely Bruce Finn, 7C Super Spy. A James Bond-style hammerhead shark who plays the classic campy spy tropes completely straight, and just happens to be a big clumsy-looking shark while doing so. I find him very funny and endearing, and I really want to do something more with him sometime, and apparently I'm not the only one. Not only did Forever Tessa do this awesome 3D rendering of him last year, but this year I also happened to get an attack from the artist and eyewitness, and it looks like this. Oh my god, I love this. Eyewitness is the same person who also put my ice-themed superhero Captain Saturn together with a bunch of other heroes last year, but man, she truly outdid herself this year. This is so sick! There's something so awesomely 60s about this drawing. Like it's from the animated opening credit sequence of an actual spy movie or TV show. And considering the campy spy theme to the character, it just works super well. Look at how the whole drawing is based on Bruce's own black and blue color scheme. I mean, there's a total of 5 colors in this whole piece, and it still tells you everything you need to know. I mean, I'm floored, I really am. Well, Eyewitness, you're not getting away with attacking me twice without revenge. Looking over her profile, Eyewitness creates a lot of cool looking superheroes, and the one that caught my eye was Mel Malcolm, known better as Major Arcana, which I have to say is just a plain brilliant name for a magical hero. I especially love the shoulder revealing cape attached to the star emblem on her chest. What a great way to break up all the black and white a bit. So yeah, here you go, Eyewitness. That's Mel in mid-flight ready to blast some baddies with a spell or two. Keep creating superheroes. They all look great. Now, back when I first started this channel, I did so with a character that I still need to do some more stuff with. And that character is Amamba. You guys remember her, I hope. My attempt at creating a video game hero with the help of input from social media followers resulted in this grumpy heavy metal drummer on a mission to rescue her bandmates from the evil demonic music producer Backmask, who I also received an amazing attack of drawn by Jor the Orc last year, by the way. Thanks for that. And I do actually have a few ideas in mind for videos where I could expand Amamba's world a little, so tell me in the comments if you'd like to see that. Anyway, Amamba must have struck a chord somewhere because she received 2 attacks by Yami0204 and Sarkanov3. And both of them did a great job. Look at how ferocious she looks on Yami's piece. This is exactly what I imagine facing her must feel like. I have a ton of ideas for her drum-based fighting style, and here she looks like she's ready to do some real damage with those drumsticks. She's like a cuter, scalier Wolverine. Meanwhile, Sarkanov has her being awesomely defiant, holding out her drumsticks like she's challenging someone to a drum-off. I can just hear her go, pick them up. If I was a demon who'd kidnapped her band, I'd be running the other way right about now. Thanks guys, these are great. Now it's no secret that I absolutely love superheroes, and one of my earliest videos on this channel was actually one where I redesigned an old forgotten hero. That superhero was Holo-Man, the living hologram created by the audiobook company Peter Pan Records for a single issue back in the 1970s. I decided to simplify his design and lean a little more into the whole made of light thing, and I still like to think it's a pretty solid design, especially with that H-shaped harness that forms into a light cape behind him. I really think I was cooking with that one. And it seems like Tacky Tack thought so as well, because I got this attack from her this year, complete with a flowing light cape and everything. I like the grid background that fades over into white as we reach the red of his boots too. It almost looks like he's traveling within some sort of light dimension, or maybe even inside electronics or some layer of cyberspace. You know, I can't say I really considered that option for him. In any case, this is great work. And sticking with the superheroes for a bit, let's take it somewhere a little darker and go underwater to meet my girl Naiad, as drawn by Sonic Ranticoot. Looks like she's getting interviewed after an ocean rescue, and hey, would you look at that? Ranticoot guessed that she'd stay pretty humble about it too. I really do imagine Naiad as someone who wouldn't consider her heroics all that big of a deal. She wants to create good relations between the surface world and the underwater world, and, well, what better way is there to do that than helping out? By their own admission, Ranticoot took some care to give her more of a swimmer's physique, and damn, my girl looks shredded. I genuinely hadn't fully considered that since I was going for more of a fairy tale mermaid approach, but hey, it's a cool thought. And it leads my thoughts towards revenge. Ranticoot seems to have built a whole little universe of cute and badass ladies that are anything from aliens to robots to human wrestlers, but the character that really stuck out to me was this guy, Gore. The grumpy grey alien landlord who rents a room to two other of his characters. I mean, he just absolutely slays me. The slouched posture, the big underbite, the boring to tacky shirts, and the complete unwillingness to do anything other than collect rent on time. It's too perfect. I had to draw him. And I thought it would be funny to give him a #1 landlord mug while I was at it, having him swinging it around mid-lecture about how he won't bother you if you just pay the rent on time. I like to think that maybe he bought it for himself, or that somebody bought it as an ironic screw you present when they moved out, and he just doesn't give a rat's ass because, hey, free coffee mug. He really was just a blast to draw. Great character, Rand. So you think we're done with Naiad for now? Well, guess again, because right as ArtFight was close to ending, and right as I was writing this freaking video, I got this one. Holy crap. Look at Naiad go in this fantastic piece by the Neminator. This is probably what it looked like when she saved everybody in that disaster that Ranticoot's picture mentioned. Yeah, everything about this is just awesome. The angle, the sheer scale of the water behind her, her hair blending into all of it. I'm really gonna need you guys to stop being so much better at drawing my own characters than I am. You're all making me look bad. But hey, let's remember for a second that not all of my characters are all nice and heroic. They get a little dark sometimes. In fact, some might even describe them as edgy. That's what I did as a half joke back in my Pokemon Fusions video, when I wrote Meowth and Doublade, and had this funny idea of letting Meowth actually be possessed by the ghostly swords, like some kind of edgy anime villain. He seems to have been one of the more popular fusions in that video for exactly that reason, and that might be why Stress is Real decided to use him to get back at me for my King Force drawing, by having him fight their own Pokemon OC, Fran the Marshtomp. Look at him leering there at the cave entrance. This is exactly the kind of smug edgelord nonsense pose and grin that I like to imagine him sporting all the time. It's perfect. You know what? I'm actually kind of curious, so let me check something. Ooh, Marshtomp is actually resistant to steel attacks, while Meowblade has no resistances or weaknesses to any of Marshtomp's main types. That's interesting. This looks like it could be a pretty even match. I'd love to see how that plays out. Do you remember how I said in the last video that I couldn't very well let ArtFight pass without drawing at least one Dragon Ball fan character? Well, clearly other people on the site feel the same way, because here comes Bruss, drawn by Get More Bald, and looking as big and mean as ever. I love the way their slightly more realistic style actually accentuates Bruss's somewhat battle-worn face. She's never been intended to look like she stepped out of some kind of fashion magazine, and that clean squint she's doing makes it look like she spent years under a harsh alien sun. Because she has. Bonus point for the way the scars on her thigh actually aren't at even level with the rest of the skin, by the way. You can tell a bit of her was actually torn off like this. Badass work, buddy. From the rough and rugged right back to the cute, there is another Dragon Ball character of mine that got a bit of attention. That's right, Stropo got herself a couple of attacks as well, with these two drawings by F. Roku and Doomface, the latter of which did it as revenge for drawing her character Princess Furu. Man, look at my girl posing. She knows she's got style. Stropo is definitely the character from that video that seems to have struck a chord with the most people, and I have to admit she's the one my thoughts keep returning to as well. I like to imagine her going on little adventures in one of Dragon Ball's big cities, similar to how Gohan had a brief superhero career as the Great Saiyaman. Let me know what you think of that idea in the comments. Anyway, I'm just super happy that people ended up finding her as cute as I do, and I adore these two little portraits of her. Thanks guys. But it can't all be sunshine and rainbows. I got a couple villains in my character list as well, and it seems like one of them has attracted a few fans. Namely Distortionex, the reality glitching supervillain. Here's a couple of headshots of him from Soria and Orion and Mothball Arts, who did it as revenge for this little drawing of his Boo character, Inky. And now I hear you ask, well, why wasn't Inky in the last video? Well, that's because he's already practically drowning in attacks, and honestly, who can blame him? He's adorable. Anyway, these are great. I actually really like that Sorian didn't go any further than the sketch. The roughness of the pencil lines makes it look like even his own body is a little glitchy, and I love that idea. Like you can't 100% place him even when you're fighting him yourself. And Mouthballs, I mean dang, my boy looks terrifying. There's just something about a masked man that sets off every alarm bell in our heads, isn't there? Well, I'd be kind of a scamp if I didn't draw at least one horror-themed character this year, so it's revenge time. And would you look at that, Mothball Arts has a handful of malevolent masked men in their own character gallery. Among Mothball's horror characters, the one that stuck out to me was Carl Gasper, the Thunderhead killer. A weatherman with TV anchor aspirations sitting out on a killing spree to get some stories to report on. I wonder if these two would be friends. I absolutely love the dorky thunderstorm tie so much that I thought it would be really funny if Carl leaned all the way into the whole Thunderhead gimmick and only attacked during rainy, stormy nights. So I wanted to create a proper slasher movie style scene where he's lurking outside of the window ready to strike. Today's forecast promises a heavy torrent of murder and mayhem. Now speaking of horror, my horror mascots didn't go through this year unscathed either. In fact, our friendly horror baseball mascot Coach Curveball apparently made such an impression on Gunning Hamster that they just couldn't help themselves but draw this. And oh my lord, I love it. They got his goofy expression just right. That silly, dopey laugh that will never go away no matter what he actually feels. And using his broken baseball bat to get some perspective and depth into the piece is such a good choice. It makes everything look nice and dynamic. He looks like he just clobbered the monstrous remains of one of his old teammates and is feeling remorseful about it. And that's exactly how I envisioned he'd be acting as he helps the protagonist get out of the hellish baseball stadium in his imaginary game. Oh, and the shading is just top notch. I love it, Gunning Hamster. Thank you so much. But Curveball isn't the only horror mascot who got an attack this year. Someone else decided to draw Gimme-Gimme the Magpie, the pretty birdie who loves shiny things just as much as you, and oh my god, dude. What are you trying to do, upstage me at my own stuff? This looks so much more terrifying than I could ever do. The vacant stare, the claws all stretched out like Freddy Krueger walking down the school hallway, the colossal beak, the scratchy coloring. This is what a spoiled little crotch gremlin sees right before Gimme-Gimme charges for a round of playtime. It's fantastic. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Taking a look at Nidia0123's characters, he's got a lot of freaky looking horror mascots in there. And I really wanted to draw one of them as revenge, but I just didn't find the time. Sorry about that, man. And hey, don't think I don't see you mentioning that you watched my video in the description there. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you stick around for more. Now, remember how I said in the beginning that you'd really want to stick around for the last attack I'm going to show in this video? Well, here it is, so hold on to your butts. This one is crazy. Gelada Heart uploaded not just a few single character attacks, but also this double comics page where a trio of supervillains approach her own character Dr. Carnegie for some help with their evil master plans. And not only is that a great level of effort and a really solid pair of comic pages, but she followed it up with this. Holy shit! Look at this. 74 characters, all of them mad scientists, all of them in one submission, all of them part of a little story, and all of them distinct and full of personality. I mean, my hand hurts just imagining drawing this page. And hold up, what's that? Let me just zoom in for a bit and... Hey, I know her! Oh, it's so nice to see Dr. Cyclops making some friends. For however long that's gonna last. Well, that'll just have to be it. I'm throwing in the towel here. There is no way I can top anything like this. This is absolutely incredible. Gelada Heart, you're a mad woman after my own heart. Thank you so much for including my little eyeball babe in this massive attack. And once again, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who drew any of my weird little do's and dudettes as well. I loved every single piece I got, and I wish I could have made a revenge for every single one. But most of all, I hope you guys had fun drawing them. I really think you guys should check out all their other work, and you can find links to all of these ArtFight profiles in the description below. So what do you say, folks? Did these guys knock it out of the park or what? I want to hear what you have to say about it. Which one of these drawings were your favorites? Which characters of mine do you wish had gotten an attack this year? And would you like to see me do this again next year? Then make sure to tell me in the comments below, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more art videos in the future. I will see you there, everybody. Bye for now.